good night, and welcome
Right.
back to Ireland fans. We are here after game week 2 in the Premier League. See Jaleel, he's in the comments. He's already here. Good. Amija's here too. Amija's still doing well in the FPL. Joy's still at first. Last time I
Mm.
checked, I think O'Neill is at second. Amija's up there. I know Suko's in front of me. I think Munchie's in front of me too. I think I'm in seventh. Suko's in sixth.
Mm-hmm.
Mali's there, but Moy, I think Moy is just behind me, if I can remember correctly. But that's for the fantasy. I think that's been heating up well. And before we get into the meat of what we're talking about tonight, I feel like it was a poor week for fantasy though. Not a lot of goals popping in, and especially
Yeah,
not from the usual
yeah.
suspect.
Right. It's true. A lot of
So
captaincy flunks.
yeah, because
Haaland
Yes, Salah
majority.
did score a goal,
Yeah,
but
but
he
he threw a
missed the
penalty.
penalty. So I had him as my
Yeah.
captain.
Right.
This week. I
Yeah.
think who would have gotten the most points? Would have been between Matoma or Embremo.
Marsh.
March with two
Solly
goals.
Marsh. Yeah, Solly Marsh scored 2 goals, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think so. Solly
Um,
Marsh. Yeah.
Zali
No,
is
and
saying that
Buemo,
he
actually had the most points.
Embremo. Okay.
Yeah.
Zali
Yeah.
is saying he's here. He said night fellas. Let me just say yeah. He said I see. I mean, he agrees. Very dead
Yeah.
game
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Joe
Yeah.
always late. Y'all pay off referee today. Okay, we get to that. And he says March is the most. He said Ezzy cooked rice today. Okay, if that is your opinion, sir. I will not argue with you. Man say pressure cooker, pressure cooker had space, man. We're gonna get to that pressure cooker because that was the talk all weekend. We're gonna get to that pressure cooker because Chelsea getting the pressure cooker, United in the pressure cooker.
Hmm.
I mean, who else in the pressure cooker? I mean, City could have gone in the pressure cooker now.
No, man. City
When
safe.
City had Newcastle in the pressure cooker. But that's done. What else should we just touch on before? Okay, let's touch on the our prediction battle. That has been heating up too because let's shout out Jamal. He won this game week with
Yeah.
12 points. Very close. Because I think three persons had 10 points just behind him. That's skill. By the way, who got the Arsenal game today? Spot on. So shout
Yeah.
out to skill there. He had 10 points. Jamal, of course, won the game week, like I said, with 12. Jaleel, not Jaleel. Shaq. Oh yeah, Shaq. Shaq had 10 points this week. And Bird's been consistent these past two
Yeah.
weeks. He had 10 points as well. Just to bring you up to date with the standings, Rene Truda, he's at the top with 24 points. He didn't have the strongest game week this time, but
Hmm.
the massive game week he had in game one still keeps him at the top. You would see that it's very close between first place and even down to what's that? That's fourth, fifth, sixth, down to sixth is just separated by 4 points. I think it's Ben Kai down there in last or something like that with
Yeah.
13 points. So I mean, it's heating up. It's just 2 weeks. No chips have been played yet. I mean, thinking about it, I should have played my chip this week. It would be a good week to play chips because my 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 scores wasn't too bad. But I'm
Yeah.
playing things close to my chest. I looked at the game for this weekend today, which is not something I normally do. I'm like, okay, you know what? Okay, I can go with this one for that game and go with this for that game. Fellas, do you all kind of look ahead to the game week for your predictions? Or how do y'all gauge that game week prediction battle that we have going on? What's your strategy?
Just vibe.
More just vibes, okay. More
That's
just
right.
vibes. Look, what is more?
Um.
Is there any more scientific thing to how you go
Boy,
about doing it?
not really. I mean, like you look at the ties. You look at maybe some websites that predict who's
Oh,
going to
that's
win.
deep, too, quoi.
Right?
You
Yeah.
got
Yeah. Yeah.
research
Much,
there. That's deep. Okay.
So I'll look at those things and then I'll make an assumption. I'll just put my
Make an
final score.
assumption.
Right?
Make an
Like
assumption. But
yeah,
there's just some things that there's just some things that you can't predict. Like I
yeah,
would
it's true.
never that Chelsea, even if West Ham would have won, I felt like it would have been like maybe a 1-0. I wouldn't have
Mm-hmm.
predicted that West Ham win at all.
Mm-hmm.
And Brighton scored four for the second week in a
Yeah, for
row.
the second week.
So that's something there. I mean, just saying he's thinking about using his triple captain on Haaland this week. Who do they play Sheffield United. They play Sheffield United.
Well,
I mean, just playing triple captain this early is for the brave. And I
yeah,
will
man.
tell you right now, I am not that brave. I know about
Yeah,
super.
no, not at all.
Nah,
The
yeah,
chips
I'm not
are
that brave.
chips are kept for the final run
The-
of the season, man.
And the double game week and stuff like
Oh,
that. I don't know, man. I don't
chips
have it in
usually
me.
going for next year.
I don't have it in me.
Next year.
Someone played triple
Yeah,
captain
you
on
want Ori?
Aurier this week.
Yeah,
I don't have
yo,
it.
yeah. That's like just pure gamble, man.
I
Pure.
don't have it in me, man. I don't have it in me.
Yeah.
All right. So that's that. Anything happening in transfers? Doku.
Yes,
Manchester
yeah,
City
yeah,
got it. Here we go today for
yeah.
Doku. Anything else?
That's a backup goalkeeper to Sanchez,
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah.
the
Chelsea signed a
MLS.
backup goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal rubbish the rumors of
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel heading out to Saudi or Real Madrid
Oh,
today. So that's
No,
that's something.
Laporte look
when
like
we
he's
get
on
back
his
his
way
pick
to
in the
Inter
team.
also.
What you say about Laporte, boy?
Laporte look like he's heading to Saudi also.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that's the
Alessia,
rumor.
yes.
Yeah.
Is he and
Yes.
somebody else? Yes, Rodrigo too. Is it the same team?
Nah, Rodriguez heading to my squad.
Oh,
Alicia.
but somebody else is joining Alessia too. Somebody on Laporte. I
Yeah,
can
there's
remember that.
there's
Is
some
it
guy.
I don't remember. It's somebody on Laporte joining. But that's because Cristiano Ronaldo's team. Well, he and Manny over there.
Yeah,
Teles
yeah,
is
man.
over
Yeah.
there. Fofana is over there too. Teles is over there as well. That team is
Mm.
they're building something there. Boy, who all on your squad? Mares, say Maximin,
Maximum Firmino, Mendy. There's
or the
somebody else.
goalkeeper man.
Alioski.
Alioski that used to play for Leeds.
For Leeds, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
Okay,
he's over there.
okay.
There's somebody else I think no. I don't
Oh,
remember.
by the way, guys, Neymar has joined my team, but he has a back injury, so I'll be able to feature yet. Okay. Greenwood not returning to United. Yes, okay. Let's start. We
Yes,
can.
yes.
I don't even know what to say to this, fellas. Y'all know how I feel. I feel like they could have stuck with him. However,
Mm-hmm.
you would think another team will give him a chance, whether in the Premier League or outside.
I don't
Or that's
think it
just
might I don't think it might be a big team because I think everybody else would be looking at United and was like, maybe it's the media outcome or you're looking at business aspect of it. Because I really think that's the main thing they're looking at, and other
Mm-hmm.
big teams probably wouldn't want to try to get involved in that.
Yeah.
So that's
I
the
think
only.
the image,
But I think he can
the
somewhere
image.
in England, probably.
I didn't hear that more. The last thing you said there.
I said maybe he could get a deal in England, but I don't know. Maybe everybody might look at it the same way, so it's kind of difficult at the moment.
You were talking about image there, Suko. What were you saying?
Yeah, I think the image for the player, like, well, you see, it's the image that's being portrayed right now. So I think that doesn't really give like a positive limelight like to any of the clubs that it's just a real sad situation, it's like
Yeah, I
you
mean,
can't
some.
you,
Go
you
ahead,
can't
Super.
restart your career. I mean, you've been out of the game for an entire season. I mean, now plus it's about rebuilding. Now he's young. I mean, he has the time in his career to kind of make up for the lost time, but because of what has happened, um it's I mean, I don't know what the reaction would be like for other clubs and so on outside of United, you know. So if a big club like United is sending out that kind of a message, then
I think all
you
the other,
know,
like more rightfully said, I think all the big
yeah,
clubs will be looking at that. I'm like,
yeah,
hands down.
exactly,
I
yeah,
think maybe.
exactly. I mean, yeah. Well, so, continue, more.
Go ahead. If you're not finished, go ahead.
No, I'm done. I couldn't think of anything more.
Oh, I was saying maybe I put factor in something else. Maybe his state of mental
Hmm.
his mental state.
Mental state. Yeah, yeah.
Um, if he manages to, I think that could be a factor too. If he manages to do get another job, as we would say in the Premier League, because I'm looking at it as just like the Zuma case. 'Cause England, they're big about their animals. They care about their
Yeah.
animals. And let's look at the backlash Zuma got from just a cat, as we would
And
say.
it's still getting more. There was a post
Yeah.
about it. Him having the captain ban this weekend as well.
Yeah, and I saw that. So I was saying maybe because it's human. We think of the higher, and we imagine the chance is going to be some real nasty things, especially if he
Hmm.
manages to play his first game. One of the things I always going to say, I only could factor mental health that how you would manage to take that also.
The
Yeah.
truth is, he will never be able to live this down. I mean, he
It's
scores a goal,
yeah.
they're gonna bring it up. He misses a goal, they're gonna bring it up. He wins, they're gonna bring it up. He loses, they're gonna bring it up. Fear. My point is, I just feel like if okay, let me just rule United out of it.
Hmm.
Someone can give him a chance because I feel like we all make mistakes.
Yeah. Of course.
Where does
Of course.
reconciliation come in?
Yeah.
When you think about a player's career, people that could happen to anybody.
Hmm.
Or let me not just even say something like that. Anything else could happen
Hmm.
that warrant a suspension, warrant something as egregious as this.
Hmm.
What happens to the player? You're just done. He need to
I have
go and pack back the supermarket or something.
Hmm.
I have another question though. We normally see various players do interviews after something happened to them. They get in something, some life changing incident. If
Like Tony.
Greenwood doesn't, if Greenwood doesn't interview, you think um it changes the narrative a little bit? Like it might
No,
be
no.
sympath really sympathetic what kind of if you
Boy.
feel sorry.
Yeah. It's. Mm.
I don't see how
Bruh.
anything Greenwood does help
Yeah.
Greenwood. I
Hmm.
don't see it. I don't. I mean, you can get sympathetic towards Deli Ali because what he went through when he was a child. But
Right.
in this day and age, we are, especially the female activists are gonna
That's
be
the
out
problem
and
there,
be like,
Shaq.
you know what?
The female,
No, we're not
the
listening. We don't
voice.
want to hear nothing.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
it's
And
not
they
gonna
have a
happen.
very powerful voice. As we were discussing earlier today, they have a very powerful
Mm.
voice.
The only thing that
In a
saved
lot
me
of those
is if he
things.
said
So
something.
yeah.
Go again.
I was saying the only thing that could probably save his career or to make it proceed faster is if she comes out and gives some statement about the issue.
But
Then
more, don't you think that the fact that she is still with him,
yeah,
I think he has his child, and I think they're
Hmm.
looking to get married too. Is enough of a statement?
that's what I was.
What she do? Create Greenwood up?
I saw somebody on Twitter was like, "Oh, that's good. You got the. I don't know if I can say that word, but alleged rapist, yeah, um,
Hmm.
out of the door." And I was like, "Yes, I understand, but then as I said in the group, I think it would be different if they came out as not guilty. But then but
Hmm.
then you realize that the charges have been nothing come from there. It's basically
Yeah,
done
the
with.
case was the case was
They
thrown
still
away. It was thrown
they
out.
still dealing with their lives. So then, at that, if she's still with him, then something kicks back in and say, okay, well, then
Hmm.
something must be there that we don't know about. If they're good with it, why are we stressing over people's life though?
Yeah,
Hmm. I
yeah.
was
So that's
thinking
why.
the same thing for Mendy as well. Shaq. I mean,
Mhm.
he wants to come back into the limelight of playing football again because I mean he still has some years in his career. But how do you? What's your perspective of that situation as well? Because I mean, we just see the Greenwood situation. What's Mendy's reception gonna be like if he goes and signs for another club or he wants to continue his career?
Well, he is signed for Lorient in France.
Okay,
I checked. He wasn't in the Madrid squad yesterday, but I mean, I still don't. Yes, a team took a chance on him, but I still
right.
don't think. I think the reception in the crowd. I
Mhm.
think the reception in the crowd is going to be something different when
Mhm.
he goes for a
Yeah.
throw in. If he scores a last minute goal, the messages that he's going to be getting, I just feel like they can
Oh
never
boy.
ever live this down.
Yeah.
DQ
enough.
saying Mendy was found not guilty. Right, right for you. So he was found not guilty of all his charges. But it's
Yeah.
not the same with Greenwood.
And you know
You
that's it,
understand?
like he wasn't found guilty and he still get, you're going to have some persons that cause, because I'm even really upset about the situation because you lie on the man just like that, and
Mhm.
basically he spent like what 2 years in prison away from football and like that. Like
Oh
it
yeah,
wasn't easy to say that he was playing at one, let's say one of the top clubs in the world or in England. Let's put it like that at the moment. He was playing for France. He's basically a starter for France. So his football career was going good, and then everything went
Mhm.
down the drain for basically your innocence, and then that's it. Like yo, that's just honest.
that's sad. That is sad. Good night to Joe. He's just entered the building.
Manners, manners.
Um,
Go
Yeah,
ahead, talk
Joe.
about
Jolly,
the Mendy.
Jolly, you made a drop what when you earlier. He say I always did. But we're gonna get straight into it now.
Mars, I get cheap buys too, but it's not for everyone. But that's cool.
Pressure cooker,
Aye.
pressure cooker.
Every
Manchester
kitchen,
City won.
every kitchen need a
Newcastle.
chef. Wise words by chef.
Yeah. Somebody have to manage the pot. What is joking, son? It's not for everybody, though, you know. Because if you know what you're good now, the pressure cover pot, the cover can blow off now and
Fuck.
knock you out.
That is fuck.
So
That is
Manchester
fuck.
City 1, Newcastle 0. Moy, you dealt well with Newcastle. I felt like City still went at their best, but that don't matter. 3 points on the board.
Yeah.
Yo, I know last week's performance probably would say wasn't the best, but I think I saw a little more improvement with this squad. Last game, this game against Newcastle, because I must say I must put this down as a Foden masterclass. Foden really came in and decided that
Mm.
this
I'm
game
that
Agreed.
is
guy.
going and said like I'm Manchester City. I am going to take up some of the responsibilities as probably as a young but mature in we can say mature in the game right now. That he took it upon himself and let's say hey let me carry some of this load right now. Allen was shut down, but I think he left some space for Alvarez. Especially that goal for them went through and
Oh,
that little think ball right there, and I think it was still a good finish from Alvarez.
of course, top.
I must say my midfielders were very dominant. Kovacic. I know he was a baller, but then when you see somebody play for your own team, not to just pick them up, but you recognize their game even more because you have more focus on extra focus on your team. But Kovacic is just a baller. He knows when to pick up the tempo and know when to slow it down, and then he can even change to like a double pivot between him and Rodri, and they have an understanding. Um, I mean the team dealt with Newcastle well. Newcastle got a couple good spells. Managed to do it well. I
Mhm.
mean it was a good game. City came won the first tough game of the season. City came out on top.
I was
Yeah,
surprised, shocked in that game that City actually kept Newcastle to a clean sheet. Like Newcastle
Yeah,
didn't score. I mean, Newcastle didn't score in goals. I mean, they scored five. Was it what, five in the first game?
like the week before,
So
right?
I mean, um, yeah, I think City probably did very well defensively because you would have expected at least Newcastle. I think most persons had predicted at least Newcastle to score one goal at least. But to get a clean sheet against a team that's pretty attacking, I think that's really good on their side. Hmm.
Credit to Manchester City in that
before we move
one
on,
nil
right?
Yeah.
win.
Yo, but like Moise say, right?
I
Oh, I
must
was
say
saying like you were saying like. Oh, sorry.
Okay,
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 yeah,
okay, let me just finish. Let me just finish. I
yeah,
was
go
saying
ahead, go
that
ahead.
City's bench this game was so woeful because I mean players like you have Rico Lewis and Cole Palmer that normally plays, but you understand that some of them not getting game. But oh my word, Doku is good to bring in,
Mm.
and Bernardo Silva is still there to come back in. So I mean the bench just needs a bit because the bench wasn't really any maturity. So I understand Pep use of not making any subs. But I'm just really still worried on why Calvin Phillips can't manage to get game. That's still puzzling.
Mm.
Maybe on his way to Liverpool.
Yeah,
Go
Liverpool
ahead,
in there
Joe.
for him. Mm.
Oh, no, I was just like basically reiterating what said about Foden because leading up to the game, Foden was dealing with a lot of criticism in terms of the fact that he would not be able to, fill that
The void.
role with KDB out. You understand? He wouldn't
Yeah,
have the same impact. And I think it took him about 10 minutes or 15 minutes to create three big chances.
Hmm.
And we're not talking about a Luton Town, a Sheffield United here. We're talking
Newcastle.
about Newcastle. You
yeah.
check, like Foden was having a real good game. It's like he had something to prove. The way he came on and he was playing is like, yeah, he had a chip on his shoulder.
Mm.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, just like how we hear all the nights and everything, they hear it too, right?
Yeah,
From the media and everything. And Foden seemed like he came in with a chip on his shoulder and say, yeah, that tells about me. All right. Yeah, and he did play ball. To be honest, Haaland was disappointing for me in that game
He
because
was.
a sharp Erling Haaland, based on the chances created, he would have scored at least one because Foden they play. You check.
yeah.
And then even the Alvarez goal, like it's funny enough that for me, I think I had three players that I had my eyes on for the entire game. And it was Alvarez, Foden, and Guavidal. Yo, Gavidal came on, me see Gavidal take on. Jalil was talking about it. Me see Gavidal
Mm.
win one 3v1, right? I don't know
Oh
how he
yeah.
do I don't know how he defend him so. But three attackers, he won, and the boy outsmart them. Like, yo, this is what I have to deal with. Like, this is what really take place. Like, come on, man. You check? But hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
1-0 to Manchester
Yeah,
City.
it is
Phil
what it
Foden
is.
showed up and said, I'm that guy.
But
Just running through these other games. Nottingham Forest, they won 2-1 to Sheffield United. Okay, we can delve into this one a little bit more. Liverpool 3, Bournemouth 1. It wasn't an easy game for Liverpool, but they got the
No.
3 points at the end. Salah missed the pen again. A shady penalty. I see reports are saying,
Mm.
but 3 points on the board too. This game also had a red card. So, fellas, I mean, yeah, Liverpool win. They're supposed to be Bournemouth. Talk to me about whether or not you think it's a red card or whether or not you think it's a penalty. Anybody can go.
Well, I didn't see the I didn't see the game, but I saw the replay for the for the red card. But that doesn't look like a.
yo, remind me what it was, because that's why I didn't answer. Come on, honest, you can't remember what you mean. Be.
The
They say it's
McAllister,
like the snap,
McAllister
the
red.
McAllister red card.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, to me, I mean, it's a well, what's it? I mean, it looked like studs on the lower part of his foot, but I mean, at the end of the day,
Uh,
it's two guys going for a ball. The guy glides past McAllister. To me, that's what I saw in the replay. I mean, at least probably a yellow. I mean, something like that. I mean, I can't remember how early though it was in the game.
it was
I think
like
it was in the
it was
second
like
half.
It,
In the
it
second
was
the
half.
60. It was like the 60th minute,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
in the
and then
second
they
half.
scored a goal not too long after to get the third
Mm,
goal. But then, okay, so here's
Yeah.
my thing. Was it
mm.
like a clear, like you look upon me like, yeah, that's a red for any of you?
The
I
the the
think
action, the
Uh-huh.
action was a red card action.
Mhm.
Okay.
The I didn't think he went in with as much force as we've seen other
Right.
people do. But I think the action was a red card action.
Yeah,
And
Okay.
rightly so,
Okay.
because I mean his studs came in. It
Mhm.
wasn't
Yeah.
flat right in your face, but his
Mhm.
studs were showing. And the replay you could
Right.
see his studs going to the man's
Yeah.
foot. But I didn't think it was anything. He didn't have malicious intent. But
Yeah, yeah.
letter to law,
Yeah.
Letter
letter
of
to
the law.
law, it was a
Yeah.
red action.
Yeah.
Bro, shock,
I-
man, I gotta lie to you. Man, I try to be biased, but when me see him, I'm like, well, if I mean Xhaka, so why not?
Yeah.
I'll know. I'll
I
know.
know.
the thing is, I agree with Shaq. When you, cause I watched the replay just before we came on, and watching it, in the live action before they brought in VAR. It's just two persons
Mhm.
coming to, it's just like a quick action. They didn't really
Yeah,
see any, you see, like when you can see the motion that his foot was up, but letter the law, it's a red card, but it's even worse when you look at these things in VAR, because they're slowing down, it's just going to look even worse. So then it's really not going to be in your favor, though. So
that is part of my problem with VAR, bro. Because I've seen so many challenges that in real time, when you look at it, it's not really that bad. But
Mhm.
then, because now you have the ability to slow it down and
Yeah.
then
It looked
show the
terrible.
impact, sometimes it looks so much worse than it actually is.
Yeah.
But then,
Terrible.
vice
Joe,
versa,
Let
I've
me
seen
jump in
situ-
here.
uh-huh.
Because to your point, I think the players also now know how to play VAR. Because if you stay down and roll around, the
Correct.
VAR is going to look much more worse. VAR is going to go check it, and
Yeah.
even if you don't get them hard, it's going to look much
Uh-huh.
worse when you slow it down, and therefore it's probably going to be a red card.
And
Mhm.
the call is more than
Yeah,
likely going to do in your favor. That's true. But what I'm saying is just like how sometimes by slowing it down it looks worse. I've seen
Mhm.
situations where bad challenges have not looked as bad when they slow it down, and maybe where situations where players should have been booked, should have maybe gotten a red card, they've gotten away with it because now when you use VAR and slow it down, it actually look as bad, but in real time it was a terrible challenge. So I
yeah.
guess it's a two-way thing, so yeah, sometimes you go have the positives and
Yeah,
sometimes you can have negatives, like most things in life.
yeah. The Quant is saying penalties are not consistent so far this season. You're gonna get to all
Mhm.
that. You're gonna get to all that. So that was Liverpool 3, Bournemouth 1. This other one, Brighton 4,
Right.
Wolves 1. Brighton doing their thing. Mitoma doing his thing. Stupian doing
That's
his thing.
Supian, bad boy.
Mhm.
I think the greatest compliment may be to Brighton.
What's that?
You look back at what Potter was doing, and you be like, "Yo, Graham Potter is this with Brighton." But
Uh-huh.
he go about his business, go Chelsea, he don't fail, and
Mhm.
Brighton just keeps getting better.
Yeah, facts. Yo,
Them
but
man not
that's
missing
what
a
I'm saying.
beat.
I feel like it's kind of it's a compliment to Brighton, but a hit to Potter because it
Right.
shows that okay, there it is. We thought you were overachieving with the team, and then Deserby comes in and gets even more out of them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So maybe all this time Brighton has been a much better team than we all thought. But we were
Quality
gauging
was
it based
there.
off of what Potter was doing.
Yeah.
Quality was there. So
and
Yeah,
that's
man.
Brighton. That's the second win in a row. Go
yeah,
again, go again.
saying that once Brighton come for your players, especially young players, you should not sell them because Brighton tends to find those talents. So if Brighton comes to a
Yeah, that
player,
man, yeah. That
Yeah.
man talent. That's what I'm saying. Anybody who Brighton like Brighton was linked with kudos. Ever since then, I'm with it. Go get
like
Yeah,
kudos. Go
no,
get
some of the
this.
players who come to him out the ball to run and just glide through.
Yeah. That's good
man,
strength to get
Mitoma.
through all that too.
Mitoma is such a baller, boss. That boy is the real deal. Nah, no joke thing.
Let's move on to
Yeah.
Villa 4 versus
Boy.
Everton. So Villa winning 4-0 there. Unai Emery. You're gonna get this from Unai Emery.
Mm.
Concede 5 the week before and score 4 the next week. Yeah, did
Yeah.
y'all see what Tarkovsky said? They got beaten by a team who conceded 5 the week before, and they then now come score conceded 4 to them. So he's saying that next week is their turn to score 4 on somebody.
To score for somebody. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So
Yeah,
I think they play Wolves, so Wolves better be real.
not with
Yeah.
that, not with that, not with that Everton team. There.
Especially y'all saw Calvin Lewin face.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
the boy
out
face
again.
was still up huge.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a broken jaw cheekbone. I think
Oh,
that's what I
that
heard.
that guy really unfortunate, yo. I can put
yeah,
he and Reece James in the same
Yeah.
category. Like them man,
Yeah.
they try to go on a run and they just get injured in the season, and then you know
yeah.
it doesn't
Fuck.
matter how long that they out. It's always a start stop kind of thing for them, yo. That really frustrated.
Yeah, that's fucks.
And he's
But
never
yo,
hit back that farm, that initial farm.
I was telling my friend
Yeah.
the other day, shock. Like credit to Ancelotti because the way Ancelotti had that Everton team playing, but not even just the Everton team. Ancelotti had a lot of big clubs thinking, yeah, Calvin Lewin, man, that's a one he
They
for
were
bring in.
quoting 50 million for him, Joe. I can never forget it.
Yeah, Jack, like Calvin Lewin was really at one point like top 3 on a lot of
Yeah.
shortlists for teams
Yeah.
Yeah.
because of that little spell under Ancelotti. So credit to
And
Ancelotti for
yeah.
that because the team, now the player have been the same ever since.
I remember that clearly. I remember that clearly. Here's another team who's in red hot form. Brentford is
Brentford.
scoring 3 to Fulham. Again, in this game, I think we were saying earlier just before the show, we had five red cards this week. And I
Yeah,
think
another red card in that game.
I heard in total over the first 2 game weeks, there've been a total of 14 yellow cards over the games. So there's an increase in that. But I don't know if y'all saw the red card incident, well, there's a second yellow incident that led to the Brentford penalty in this game. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Yeah, I saw it.
What do you think about that? Because that's not a penalty for me.
Yeah, it wasn't the penalty for me either, because that's one of them that goes down as another week, another controversial call.
Yeah.
Because I looked at it and I was like, wait, when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's a penalty?
It
Okay.
was it,
Yo,
it was
to show
legit
you
a
how much I
coming
don't
together.
to show you how much I don't think it was a penalty, right? The Brentford players weren't even appealing that much for the penalty.
Right.
So
Exactly.
and I think that is something that usually gives it away. When you have a penalty or a call, and the players, not even the players, a call from, okay, yeah. So then
Something shady.
I don't know, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't
the
know how
point
these
of the
people
matter is,
make
Joe,
these
it wasn't
decisions.
the pen. The ref got that wrong. The ref
Yeah,
got that one
agree.
wrong. It's plain as it. I don't think it would have changed the result, but you don't know.
Yeah,
But
true.
it ended up 3-0 to Brentford. Here's another controversial call. Whether or
All
not
right.
the handball in the Spurs versus Manchester United game was supposed to be a handball, which
No,
would have
no
led to a
handball.
penalty, which could have scored, which would also change the complexion of the game.
Yep.
True.
Joe already said no handball. Where the rest of you stand?
Bro, yeah, no handball for me. That's crazy.
No, I agree.
Yeah. Suko, you say no
Yeah, to me,
handball?
I didn't see it, so but I guess on the replay, just looking like it's a shot that's coming in, and it just
Yeah,
hits
I
his hand,
think
and then we
we were debating this last week when it came
right.
when it comes down to proximity, and so to I think Joe
Yeah,
made that point with the Nicholas Jackson
Right. Yeah.
incident.
yeah,
I think it's pretty similar, and the only credit I can give, because I mean there are moments that I would see that to be called a penalty, but this
Yeah.
season it hasn't been called. And if you're gonna take us down that road where you're not calling it for that, then we just gotta put our hands up and say that's
yeah.
not a penalty.
And that has probably been the most consistent thing this season in terms of those calls that they would typically give penalties for, in terms of like them, like cheap handballs. They haven't been
Yeah.
calling them. So I have no problem with it, because it's not like, say, it's benefiting one team and this week then give them and next week then they give them. Consistently so far since the league has started, they haven't been giving them. So Based on that, I have no problem. I'm cool with
That-
it.
That's
Is it
1 point for the referee.
me alone or that game, it seemed like they didn't even really have a proper angle on it.
Yeah,
Mm.
that too.
Mm.
Because the
But
first
Shaq,
angle
you
they
have to
showed
speak up.
was
Oh,
behind and the player was blocking it. And then the next angle, you saw the shot, but you just see like the ball move, but you didn't really see anything. Like it's just like it turned blurry.
Uh-huh.
mm. But
That's
Shaq,
interesting.
in the result of
Go
this
ahead.
game, right? Yo, I saw United should have scored about maybe 3 or 4 goals in that game.
Yeah.
Rashford like point blank header.
Bruno.
Bruno point blank header in front of the goal. Wherever okay, Anthony hit the post.
Yep.
Yo, and but it's like Spurs get 2 chances. Spurs get. I understand. Spurs hit what they hit the underside of the crossbar. So at one point, I think.
I think Pedro
Was
Hmm.
it?
Porro. Yeah.
But yeah,
Pedro
Yes,
Porro.
of Pedro Porro, right? But I'm like, okay, you get one thing, one ball roll across the whole defense, the man tapping at the back post, okay. But it's nothing like clear, like clear chances to say, boy, like
Yeah.
he was like,
Mhm.
yeah, like each 5 shots on target each, like that kind of stuff. But suppose just take 2 little chances and that's it. I mean, yo, I say you have fellas that have Bruno and Rashford in the FPL team. You know, you cussing because yo chances.
One
yeah,
is
Assist that
9 million,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
go past
yeah,
the ball.
yeah.
And the other
Can't
one
Amo,
paid
sound,
can't
25.
Amo,
finish.
sound like your fellas, so go on, your fellas.
Yeah, well, already, but I still, I still do it,
Joe,
so that's
you
all
know
right.
this sounded like therapy. It sounded like therapy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's not.
Yeah,
That
like
sound like a person.
I
Sound
can't
like a person.
understand. The first game two against Wolves, the fellas have chances. I'm like, yo, I can't understand how it is.
Yeah,
You have
So
chances
far,
upon chances. Bruno giving
yeah. I
man
hear
pass
on a
or
shot.
assist, them
Hear
fellas
on a
can't
shot. I'm
finish.
gonna tell what I know. Sukwa decide for not give Haaland the captain, right? And he get it right, but then he
Yeah,
still get the second option wrong.
yeah.
Uh,
Like, yo, Rashford, if Rashford put away his chances,
Yo,
bro, that's easy, like
the man,
26 points
the man,
right there, Shock.
the man.
I hear you, bro.
Yo,
I
I watched that game. I'm
feel your
like, yo,
pain for sure.
the fellas blight.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
What you saying
boy,
up
but
there, boy?
No, I was telling Suko I feel his pain because I have Rashford and Richarlison in my team and they ain't doing nothing.
Oh, you have
Yeah,
Richarlison as well.
but I mean, I don't know how I had to put Richarlison in that team, honestly.
Yo, Richarlison is just that lucky person because I know he was going to be up top. I just hope maybe he get, he always getting a header or then like a tap in.
yes, yeah.
But yeah.
Richarlison has been
But
very
to Super's point
uninspiring
there,
since going to
and it
Spurs.
may even get worse because Madison left the game on crutches.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
they,
did.
they haven't confirmed anything. They're saying
But
like
they
it's
said
a
it was a
precautionary.
precaution.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what they said. They said it
Okay,
was a precaution. So I
okay,
don't know.
all
but
right.
yo, whenever
Uh,
somebody leave the stadium in a boot, yo, that just to me that never looks well. If like you leave without without being on crutches or without a protective boot, then you feel a little more optimistic, right? But I guess we have to wait and see. But boy, to me, I'm not optimistic about him, lad, because this boy is like another one. Chuck, brilliant, like
yep.
3 games straight, and then man just get the injury and he out
Injured
for about
again.
a whole
Yeah,
month,
And
man.
Spurs
Yeah,
that's
will
I
true.
just
go,
don't
and this
understand, bro.
season Spurs will go as far as he takes them.
Yes, because yo, this boy
He
on
fit,
free kick,
they
he
could be trouble.
facilitated the play, feeding Son, feeding Richarlison. You check?
Yep.
Yeah.
So what this one's not gonna make a pretty reading for you.
Lord have
West Ham
mercy.
3, Chelsea 1. Another team that has been
Boy,
put in the pressure cooker. They've also called your new signing Conceido instead of Caicedo. I saw that today. I thought that was pretty clever. I mean, one of your record signing, he miss a pen. The other one come on and say, you know what, hold my beer, and
yeah.
he go give it a pen.
Yeah.
It was
That's
in the
crazy.
mud for you.
Yeah.
Watching that game,
Mm.
Sukwa, the best part of that game for me was that Antonio goal. I just love that,
Yeah.
and I guess I'm preempting myself because we're gonna get to that. That's gonna be my
He
goal
get
of the
through.
weekend
Yeah, because
because
he get
at the
two defenders.
industry,
Mm.
the industry had to get that and the precision to
Mm.
put that ball in the
Mm.
far corner
Yeah,
there.
yo. yo, whenever we play against Antonio, he always score against us. So it's like
Mm,
when he gonna score? That kind of stuff. Whether it's at
yeah,
West Ham, whether it's at Chelsea, it's like he just have a knack of scoring goals against us.
Yo,
So,
but
but
here's
for
what.
me, mm,
My thing is with the Antonio goal, like, the thing that I
mm,
think a lot of people didn't notice. Bro, Antonio got up there, right? Ran, fought, got to the ball. And when the man look around and the man not see nobody, the man turn up and start cuss. And then just wheelie, but he put through the ball.
yeah.
I don't even
mm,
think it's like he look and say, okay, I have a good chance, I'm gonna
yeah,
score. The man just wheel he foot into the ball out of frustration and
hmm
score. Oh,
I
what did
mean,
Bro.
you? And
you know,
it
it
was a
seems like
great
it's going
strike
to
too.
be.
and that was the only thing he could have done because he had no support. When
Yeah,
like he
it was
was
a
he,
great
he was
strike
just he
too.
and about three blue shirts around him, and that was it.
Yeah, yeah, Antonio.
Yeah,
But Antonio made a cuss. You check the man me literally just to the
yeah,
bar like you boy me just sick and tired are you? You check?
yeah, yeah.
One dude all by himself. Sukwa, what, go
Serious.
ahead, your
For
team.
me, Stack,
Pressure
coming to
cooker.
the first half, you get a penalty. I don't understand how is it that Enzo goes to take that penalty where I would want to have my striker get off the mark. This is your opportunity
Yeah.
for your first goal. That's it.
You know,
We score that
Sukwa,
penalty.
I feel like,
It's a different result.
sorry there. And I feel like
Mm.
strikers nowadays don't want penalties.
I don't
And it because,
understand that because
yeah,
yo, like be like look at the best strikers. Kane, Haaland, give me the ball. Rooney, Ronaldo, give me the ball. Messi, give me the ball. Just put it down on the spot and and just back away. That's it. Because as a striker, that's the kind of confidence you go there. You supposed to be like the front man. Okay, I can understand there's
yeah,
certain midfielders in the past, but these are cams. These are attacking midfielders. Guys who would probably be the
the
ones
high
who
for
would be
goal.
yes. But for me, you give that a striker, especially if you have a new person coming into the team,
Mm.
and that person going to be your focus striker for your focal point. He has to take that, right? That's just my
Sure.
that's my opinion
And
of it.
give me some FPL points.
Yeah, share the love around. Give me at least my 3 points for the for the win for the season. But boy, I tell you. And
So,
then
guys,
something like that
that's
is
a
that
good point.
once you give
You
West Ham
haven't.
that kind of a chance at their home and you don't take the lead on them, they always find a way. The man go down to 10 men and them man play like there are 12 men on the field.
All right.
That's how it looked to me.
I
Right?
mean, so you made a point there. You haven't won
Mm.
any 3 points yet for the season. You're still
Boy,
waiting.
no.
But the good
No, no.
news is you play Luton this weekend.
Boy, let me yeah,
Surely,
that you have to. Surely we have to
surely,
try and pick up
Suka.
those 3 points. Shaq, boy,
Surely.
it's just too early for that kind of stuff, boy. It's just too early for that kind of stuff.
Wow, imagine, fellas,
Yeah.
imagine this. I'm writing down all these games to put up, and you know which game I didn't put in? Can you imagine? Arsenal winning 1-0 today. I didn't even put that in.
Well,
It was a, I mean, Eddie had a chance early, very good
yo,
chance early,
MK Cello.
which he
Yo,
Sorry.
I don't understand how
Oh,
I tell you your boy Cello could be criticizing this man. Look, bro, when this man have the ball lively, things happen. This man can draw
yeah,
penalty. I saw some
yeah,
tackles, right? If them defenders get that wrong, that's it, that's straight penalty because this man was real lively on the ball,
it was lively.
right?
It's like the drop of the shoulder. So.
He looks saying like he said, yo, I get my chance up there as number
Yeah,
9, okay, in the absence of Jesus, taking my chances. Yo, so I don't understand how people can, be
and
against Eddie. I mean, Eddie doing what he's supposed to do.
I think
When
just
I
before
watch
we
him play,
bring
that's what
Moy,
he's doing.
yeah, just before Moy comes in, I think the stat is that in his last 16 starts or so, he has 14 goals at the Emirates. So when the
Right.
man start, the man play, you can't really knock him
Yeah.
for that, isn't
Yeah,
it,
you
Moy?
can't. No, you can't.
Uh, it's just like the same thing now. I always draw the comparison similar to Gabriel Jesus. These players have strikers in front of them that they're not really going to come in and get game. And you can say they're satisfied with their role, but yet still they want to play. But the highlight that I just watched, the first chance Nketiah got, a little drop of the shoulder and coming where he end up and
Mm.
slide the ball, he hit the post.
The one
I
hit the
think that was,
post.
yeah, I must say that was very good. Or we just
Yo,
managed to get a little drop.
action. When he did that, I say, yo, Eddie out here, I look like a real number 9.
Yeah.
The way he catch the ball, turn into the space, don't know where the goal is, and had the instinct for score. I say, yeah, Eddie out here, I look like a real number 9, dog. You check,
Yeah.
boy, just
Mhm.
yo. The thing is with Eddie, right? Why a lot of times, like sometimes people not understand why you had a patience with Eddie, right? Well, here is my thing, dog. Eddie has consistently been doing a lot of times the right things. The only thing he missing are the final product, the goal. You check, he either kick the ball over the goal, kick on Bailey wide, knock the post,
Mhm.
or something like that. And at the same time, if we're being completely honest, one can argue that with consistent game time, which then brings confidence, he will become more
He
clinical.
finishes that. He finishes.
You
That's a
check?
good point, bro. That's a
Because
good
then
point.
when you strike week in week out now, and you know, boy, okay, yeah, me, the manager had a faith in me, the team had a faith in me. You check? After a while, then chance they know this going up and maybe you double think one shot that you the double think before the ball reach you, you don't know exactly where you're doing. When you're getting, you just execute on because here what your confidence high. You check
Yeah.
versus now, you
Mhm.
know, boy, I'm in the team right now, and I have to try to do as best as possible because
Yeah.
just
You're
do
up on the
soon
edge.
back. Our Trossard might come in and take my spot. You check things like that. So when you really sit down and think about that boy, the pressure and to see how Eddie consistently performs under that pressure, I think it's credit to him. Personally, I don't think I still don't see him as that, yeah, that striker that can lead your team.
Leading
You
that.
understand? But who am I to say that it's not possible and it's not the way? You
Mhm.
check? Who am I to say that? You check?
I mean,
So,
of course, we want to win right now, and I feel like
uh,
that is the. And when he misses the chance, I heard someone say today that we have to get somebody in that at least scores one of those two chances. Because okay, in fairness, the game could have gone a different way, and we would all be looking back at these chances that Eddie missed. Fair enough.
yeah, true.
But when you look at his overall play today, in the first
Uh,
half, one could argue that Eddie was the brightest spark in the team.
yeah,
So, so
that I can agree with.
you can't really. For me, you get for me, he's earned his spot again to play next week, and I feel like
Uh,
that's how I'm going to judge Eddie.
Yo,
yeah,
If I think, okay, you know what, Eddie and I have a good game today, you can get work off in the week. They training, so I can try something else. But based on the first week he scored a goal, the second week he was very good, and I feel like maybe if the game had continued, with us having 11 men, maybe he would have gotten on the score sheet.
yeah, quite possible. That's quite possible.
So
And at the same time too, I feel like too you have to understand from Arteta's perspective, you have to be very careful when you have Eddie who's supposed to be a number 2 striker, but then your number 1 striker is out, and here watch you will put the likes of the Havertz and the Trossards and so on. As great as they say his attitude is, partner that kills your confidence.
of
You
course,
sure? And and
everybody
and
would.
and if you're not going to play, if you can't play a backup striker against your Crystal Palaces and your Nottingham Forest, then who can you play
Mhm.
him against? Then he
Yeah,
need for go. Really and
yeah,
truly, he need to go. If that's the case,
precisely,
you check.
precisely.
So yeah, that's the way you be, man.
yo,
Yep.
and
So
there was a
go ahead,
there's
Moy.
a point that Joe made, that Eddie manages to get these chances, and he should manage to finish at least some of them. I'm here
Uh-huh.
thinking that you need those players in your team sometime because you know what they can work with. Yes, the finishing product might not be good, but not really all the time a person get 5 chances and they miss all 5. You expect them to convert one at least. So that's why I
Yeah,
think if
true.
you see him, it's good to see the glimpse. So you just training wise, hey, okay, this week strictly finishing few because you have everything
Yeah,
else. Come on.
true.
My, and to that point, my last point before we move on to this,
Mm.
in the Joe, you can correct me if I'm wrong. In the last two games we've played, Forest and today,
Uh-huh.
Eddie would have gotten three chances, three big chances. The one he scored, which is not
Uh-huh.
really a chance. He made something out of nothing for
He
that.
made.
But
Uh-huh.
he got and today. So that means his conversion, we're looking at his conversion as 1 out of 3.
Yeah, no, actually, the one he scored. Remember, the one he scored came from Martinelli. So
Right. So so
I mean, I
so
think you can argue that it was created for him, but he still had a lot of work to do,
he still
and
had a
that's the
lot of
thing.
work to do.
Yeah, he still had a
So I'm
lot of
talking about
work
like
to do.
big chances that he would have gotten would probably be 3 or 4
I'd
the
say
past 2 games.
he may have next chance in that first game.
I don't think
No,
so.
yeah, I'd say yeah. So I'd say so. Then you're looking at it that he has a conversion rate of 1 in 3, which is not bad.
1 out of 3 chances. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah. That's
those
true.
numbers aren't horrible. Haaland had what 2 or 3 guilty chances, and Haaland's quality, and he
Hmm.
didn't back them on the weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm like, just calmate,
That's
calmate.
true.
The man the perfect dog. The man that do what
Yeah,
he's supposed to do. I gotta take it week 1 week and I'll see what I go on for head. No,
yeah,
fellas,
that's
we're
true.
going to do a little
That's
quick
true.
activity before we done. All right, it's some I saw it on ESPN to be fair because something, nothing, and everything. All right, so I have some statements here, and after every statement, all I need you to say
Mhm.
if it's something, if it's nothing, or if it's everything. If it's nothing to talk about, if we should really be talking about it, or if you know what I
Mhm.
say, we can shrug it off. All right.
Uh-huh.
So, what the first one's for you?
Mhm.
Reece James injury history. Something, nothing, or everything.
Everything.
You think that he could be done? Well, when I say done, meaning like
Yeah.
we'd never see the best of him.
For me, right? Reece James has one last thing for me. In my opinion, you see that surgery that he had prolonged for a while
Mhm.
because he's had that issue. He went through the whole preseason, summer. He didn't do the surgery, right? I think that's the only thing that can possibly give him a little bit of hope that it can really help his situation going forward. Because as I said, there was a statistic that I saw, like he missed 80 games in 4 seasons. Yeah, that's 20
Yeah,
games a season on average, right? So, and that affects the whole team really going forward. When he goes down, it takes away a lot of the avenues that Chelsea has going forward. But I think that if like for me, I think he has that one last thing, that surgery that he has to do. If he can get that and then recovers fully and then gets reintegrated into the team, it's just that he's gonna have to be a player that probably just averages about 60 minutes, at least like reach the hour mark,
yeah, you
then
have
get
to be
subbed off or
managed.
something because his minutes have to be seriously
That's
managed
what
after
it is
this.
too,
Yes.
but I
Hmm.
believe part of the problem with the constant reoccurring of Reece James injury is you have a player that has been injured like
Hmm.
consecutively over and over again,
Yeah.
and more times is the same or similar injury, right?
Right.
At what
Hmm.
point do you bring him back and say, okay, I'm gonna bring you back off the bench and play you on 20 minutes, play you
Right.
next week maybe on 60 minutes,
Yeah.
and go and
Change your
work you?
resume.
Almost every time Reece James comes back from injury, yeah, I'll throw him straight back in the team to play 90
Yeah,
minutes.
Right.
that's
It's
fine.
true. It's true.
You check
No, that's
that don't
that's a
make sense.
very
That don't
true.
make sense. So
Yeah.
I feel that it's kind of the club as well that I let
Hmm.
down the player because
Hmm.
this is one of your most valuable assets, even more so
Yeah.
now because this is now your club captain. Like,
Right.
at what point does common sense click in and say, boy, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, Reece James just come back, but it's not the first, second, or third time this has happened. So maybe
Right.
we need to do a little,
Yeah.
manage him a
Better
little better this
management.
time
Yeah.
around and
No,
just monitor it and make
that's
sure
a
that he actually
that's a
heals like we
serious
think he
injury.
should
Yeah.
and all of that. You check?
Mhm.
So I
Yeah, that's
blame
a
the
valid
club too.
point, bro. Very, very, very valid
Yeah, I
because
mean,
now
blame the club too.
you have a guy like Gusto who is a natural right back,
I'll
right?
bring back.
Uh,
You have
Mhm.
yeah, you have him that. So I would say that okay, Reese does that surgery that he has to do, right? Because it is looking something very much similar that he'll have to at some point undergo it, and then you just have to slowly reintegrate him into the team because you correct about
uh,
it's almost like as soon as he does a few training sessions, he's back from injury and so on. They just push him into
Yeah,
a game that he has to play more than like by about 70 minutes or so. He's still on the field,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and then by about maybe 75 minutes, 80 minutes, then you see him limping off. The next thing you hear, he have to undergo scans. Next thing you hear, he out for a few months.
Because
It's just like that's it.
hamstring injury again or
Yeah,
something.
and
The
then
good
And
it's
thing is
either
and
that or knee.
this time around, yo, my thing is number one, Patch come out and say the man injured him just tired. Then you hear that
Yeah,
he have to go to scan and that he a
scan.
hamstring injury. The
Yeah.
only good thing is that as opposed to months, like what we're
Hmm.
typically used to this time around, they only expected him to be out for a few
Yeah.
weeks.
For a little,
So that's
yeah.
not bad.
Right.
You check, that's not bad at all when you really think about it. That's like
Yeah.
the only positive from it. But then at some
Yeah.
point you have to make up your mind that yo,
Yeah. He have
they
to be
need
on
to
limitation.
take the time
Yeah.
and monitor him and help
Very
him
much
to
so.
recover and get
Yeah.
back to where he is fully. Because
I
remember
think.
no, not
Mm,
because when you have muscle injury, not because okay, then say you heal enough for play, mean that
hmm.
the muscle back to 100% no. It
Right.
that still continues to happen over time no.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, so
And
it could simply
bro,
be that.
the worst thing about it is the position he plays. So it's not even
That
to
too.
say, boy, let me tell you, the amount of stress and strain that has put on his body and his legs, especially, that really is not the best. It's the position he plays. You understand?
Uh yeah,
That's
true.
why I was saying that it has to take a real good coach to like
Bro, like putting
revise
all
his
bias aside,
position.
like
Hmm.
putting all bias aside, you realize Reece James is basically like the almost perfect
Hmm.
um prototype in terms of what you want a modern day right back to be.
Yeah.
Because Reece James is like I remember like the first if you're doing a description of Reece James is like a combination of Trent and Kyle
Hmm.
Walker. Like
Hmm.
he
Get a
had
build.
the creative ability
Yeah.
of Trent, but he
Yeah.
also has the pace and the defensive ability
And the
that Kyle
defensive
Walker has.
ability. Yeah.
You check? So like when you really think about it, and then
Hmm.
to just see that he just so makes way. You check, in my opinion.
Hmm.
You check, but to each his own. I think I play
Yeah.
for Arsenal, so But he's a black young footballer. You check, so I like to see that.
And but you see, the worst thing about it too is that I just felt that they rush him into the captaincy. That's
Uh
just my take. For me, I'm looking for somebody that consistently plays with that team,
so you have
game
plenty
in,
to
game
get
out.
out of your chest, man. Where this you
Right.
come
yo,
from?
Yeah, I don't understand why you take that step so early. I mean, I understand that you want to build the confidence in the player and so on and so forth, and say, okay, you know what, you are the marquee person. But you do it too early.
You know,
I
wait
yeah,
for
want to see
somebody else to go
consistency.
these days.
Yeah, you know, and just like that level of consistency and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
I just hope that, I mean, when he comes back, then we'll have to reassess and see what happens with him. But
I
if it is that
feel.
Gusto, for example, locks down that wing and he does very well, then yeah, you have a real problem on your hand now. I mean, how do you just walk back into the team?
yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, more. The next one's for you. You can do this one. Brighton opening farm. The two games that Brighton has played, they're opening the farm from the first two games. What am I saying? Something,
Mhm.
nothing, or everything.
Something.
Okay. You're not getting too carried away.
No, I mean I don't think they will come a top four, but they will have a round. Try to fight for a Europa League
Let's take
spot
the
again.
spot again.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Joe, the opposite end of the table.
Uh
Something, nothing, or everything. Everton lack of scoring in the first two games.
boy, everything.
You
Yo,
think
actually
they're
no.
worrying
Actually
you?
no, maybe nothing no because I don't really expect no different. Yes. But
Mm.
on a serious note, partner, that's everything, boss. Because even the game they played, the first game, what was it again?
Right.
The first game against
Hold
Fulham.
on.
Bro, then I'm supposed to lose no. They were the better team no. But that
Right.
Mhm.
man just can't score. It give I'm gonna tell you, it give me the like similar vibes to Wolves versus Manu. Like you
Right.
do everything, you're the better team, you're out for the team, but you just cannot put the ball in the back of the net. You check, and ultimately, if you can't score, then it no matter how good you play, no, you only ever guaranteed 1 point. And a
All
three
right, so
points
Joe,
not play fun.
tie this one in as well, because the next one actually under that is Wolves' inability to finish chances.
I think that's everything because
That's everything.
I feel like Wolves staying up as striker could be the difference between Wolves staying up and Wolves going down this season.
Mhm.
Like so, that's why I think it's everything. I think it's that serious.
All right, Super,
Honestly,
I have one for you. The
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest striker, Awoni, I think his name is
Mhm.
pronounced.
Money.
He has
Yeah.
scored in 6 straight games. Something, nothing,
Mhm.
or everything.
That's something that you can continue to, because when I look at him, I don't even understand how he didn't play the first game. To actually start the season, my team was bench.
Yeah, he
But
was on
when
the
that
bench. He
guy
came off the
plays,
bench. Mhm.
yeah, like look at his physique and stuff like that. Yo, that look like a, with proper coaching and development, that top nine that has
He
the
remind me
potential.
of course, Josie Altidore, not no big nine, but
Mm,
he had
mm.
Josie Altidore, the American.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. From the
he looked
United
like
States. Yeah.
Josie Altidore. But yeah,
Yeah.
because some people were saying, I saw the
Mm,
post, that's why I wrote it down. They were
mm,
linking him with Arsenal, saying Arsenal need a nine. They're saying to look
mm.
at him.
Let me tell you, right? I'll be honest. He's not a bad. I mean, he has the prem experience. He has the body for it. I mean, I don't really know about his injury record,
Right.
if
He
any.
had he had some
Right?
injury coming in the preseason.
Okay. Okay. But like this man look like a terrorist at the back. Like he will terrorize the defenders at the back.
Yeah.
He has, and he's not slow. He has good pace. He has a strength. He has that ability to be like a modern a modern day number nine that you really don't see. I mean, you don't
Um,
really have much of the nines, like really that you really
I,
you know.
I will admit, initially when I was like,
Mm, mm,
is he much better than Eddie?
mm-hmm.
I mean, physically, it's a whole
Right,
different
right,
profile. But
yeah.
that's what I asked myself. But then I can't discredit him
Mm.
since
To me,
he
he's more of
single-handedly
a nine than Eddie and Ketia. To me, Eddie more plays like he looks like a secondary striker, a guy that can
secondary
run
striker.
wide. Yeah, that thing. But that guy just look like he's just in that 6 yard box. That
who that?
that's
I
um
won't.
Awoni.
Oh yeah, yeah. He a
Yeah,
striker. He
he's a
one of them
striker. That
old
yeah,
time traditional
old
striker.
right traditional
Yeah.
strikers that you just right there in that box there. I mean, I'll tell you,
Yo,
Shaq, he has the build and everything with it.
you know who Iwonia, Awionia, whatever his name, you know who he remind me of? He
Mm,
remind me of, like I was telling somebody this the other day. I'm gonna say, yo, just travel with me, travel with me. He
mm,
remind me of Prime Benteke.
mm. Aston Villa Benteke.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Aston
Aston
Villa
steal
Villa
up,
Benteke.
up
Benteke.
there, bring down the
Yo,
ball, get it, turn, play it
Yeah.
off, and then he
Yeah.
just go on this darting run down the field. And
mm-hmm,
just know that when you put the ball back across the box, he did.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He give me Benteke vibes.
yeah.
Boy, this next one is for you. It's an interesting one because it's not about your team. And who is about? Who is about is the person who commented here. Is his team. The man see just reached, or you man be outside. Richie, yeah, man. This man just wild out. Man
God.
say, he dig up, he dig up, man say he dig up his machine for me. As long as now you do the digging, O'Neal. You know me good. You know me now I can compare. As long as now you do the digging. Yo, that man's something else, dog. I'm telling you, fam. That man's something else. Boy, here we go. And O'Neal, I hope you're listening too. We're playing some called Everything, Nothing. What am I saying again? Something, Nothing, and Everything. All right?
And everything, yeah.
Boy, Chelsea have won 5 games in their last 31 Premier League fixtures.
Oh, sorry.
Something, nothing, or everything.
Say that again.
You heard me right. Dating back to last season. Chelsea have won 5 games in the last 31 Premier League fixtures.
More, I just know last season wasn't a season. That was a
Look,
COVID season. That was a lockdown
Yo,
season. That was it. Just keep over
that,
that.
whew.
that, I don't think nothing out of it. I really do. I I do. I think 'cause from last season, I think they were basically gelling for this season.
Okay.
So
Okay. Let me be okay. Let's be fair to them then. Chelsea's
Our team, remember,
opening two days.
our team just get bought over. Remember, we were under sanctions. We were Russian oligarch, everything. We can't buy, we can't sell. The fellas freeze the fellas assets, everything
So
there.
this is
Hey,
a,
Now,
hey,
so
hey,
this is a
Adam, I
new,
hear about can't buy a can't sell no. Hey
so this
man,
is a
don't
no,
new
worry about
crowd.
the Arsenal.
no,
They'll
no,
probably
no,
buy in the
no,
next
no,
5 years.
no.
No.
So we're talking about the transition of the club. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, okay,
Look at
okay,
this other
okay.
stat. Enzo has won 3 Premier League games since he come Chelsea. They say they say Todd Bowley has signed more players than wins he had for Chelsea as the owner.
Yeah, that's crazy.
oh,
Mark.
legacy still
So
still
again,
strong.
I ask you
That's
something,
crazy.
nothing, or
Yo,
everything.
boss, that ain't everything, dog. That's not even everything. That ain't everything. The stats alone sounds so alarming because Enzo only winning 3 games. Yo, it seemed like okay when he came in January, ain't it?
Yeah,
And they had
for
couple games,
105 million. Just
and
remember
they
that.
had couple games to play. Yo, that's mad though.
All right,
Yep.
so that's everything. All right. Let me see what do I have here. Okay, Joe. Yeah, Joe, this one for you.
Mm.
Pepe back in training with the Arsenal squad.
Yo, Ewa, it is something. It's not nothing and it's not everything. You check. Bro,
It could be everything.
yo, Pepe must have had 9 life, dog. 'Cause every time he look like he did, he come back. You check, you check. Like, me need even how else to describe him. And here's what no. I'll also say this publicly for the record. I am for it. Because
I'm with it.
yo, man, I like if this is how he was to go out to the club, man, I like it, dog. You check. I really want he to do better. I want he to do better. Honestly, I want he for because as much as people have all them jokes and everything about Pepe, the only reason why Pepe so much joke swing about Pepe because of the price. Because Pepe has had some good ones, Pepe has had some good spells in the team, no. But for the kind of money you pay for he, like what you expect versus what you've received, boy, nah like I like you go supermarket, you buy a big box of Kellogg's, and when you open the box you see value time in. You check that's basically what I go on. You check so I need Pepper to give me 1 season of Kellogg's shock. 1 season of
So,
Kellogg's.
yeah,
You check
yeah, and I mean, and
and
with the reduced minutes, he can get out a small box.
yeah,
You know,
I
to the
hear what
double pack.
I think it plays in his favor the fact that he now has Saka starting ahead of him, and as the team done gel, the team perform well, so you're not coming into that's not doing well where there's
Right.
this huge expectation on you because of the price tag. You don't have a star player in your role, and basically you just expected for come in
Where's the
and just
backup? Keep
and
the
just do for you
tempo up.
thing when given the opportunity. You check,
Yep.
that's it. So that plays in his favor hugely too.
Fair enough. I need Jalil to come. I need Jalil. So O'Neal, pay Jalil now. Tell you what type of he do because I'm going to do one more and I have one for him. I find one for United. O'Neal asking for Cello. You want to know what Cello? I don't know what Cello is. Bro. He say he missed Cello and he say he remember when he go. Remember that man go the penalty shooter. Cello versus O'Neal. Okay, fellas, everybody can chime in on this one before we do the last one. The new yellow card systems this season. Something, nothing,
Yo,
or everything.
everything.
Just before y'all come in, just let me preface
Uh,
this. I just want to. I have an idea, right? That I heard.
uh,
I won't take credit for it. The throwing aspect of the whole time wasting thing. I can understand you want the game to speed up, and even in today, the person that held the ball in their hand the longest didn't even get the yellow card. But fair. Let's just move on from that. do you all think that we could go to something instead of giving a yellow card? If the referee deems it that you're taking too long, he just turns over possession to the other team.
Hmm.
You all think,
That
we all think about that. I heard
I
it.
think
I'm like, that may not be the
I
worst
don't
thing.
I don't think that's an awful idea, you know. But
Hmm.
It's
yeah, I
new.
don't think.
Why?
But then the thing is where it's risky. Any good idea in the Premier League risky because then go find a way to turn on bad, and
Hmm.
that's my problem because then one referee might say, okay, 15 seconds, you don't take too long and turn over possession to the other team. And next referee go
Hmm.
come and give 6 seconds. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
Them kind of is that, and that's the way you're trying to avoid. Like for my thing is, you're already doing this thing where for time wasting, you're adding on the extra time, right? Why do you still need to do this additional give book yellow card for everything? Now, and my thing is, you're giving players a yellow card because you deem them to be wasting time at 20 minutes into a game. You
Yeah.
check 20, 30 minutes into a game. Not just that, you give a man one yellow card for wasting time when he team a lead 2 and 3 on the market. What reason am I for wasting time? That don't make sense. And like we were talking about today, Shaq, like if me look up and me can't see nobody, me supposed to just throw the ball out
Sure,
on the field. You check? Like, man, understand that now. That don't make sense. That really and truly don't make sense to me, brother.
I don't know if you all remember the Inter Miami game. I think Yedlin got a yellow card for that now.
Uh-huh.
When you were supposed to
Hmm.
go and throw the ball. And I was like, it's ridiculous. Because I'm not going to pick up the ball. Everybody's reaction is not going to be quick. So as I pick up the ball, everybody start moving. And that's the time where one-on-one marking normally occur. So everybody's going to normally pick up somebody. So how quickly are you going to get to throw the ball? And the only thing that I
Yeah,
don't
true.
like with the yellow card is the managers. You're giving them, because sometimes the people that them have to react you. Unlike, where it was, the one from the Wolves game, I think that
Uh-huh.
should have been rescinded. Because it's your awful call that turns out it was right,
Or that
caused
the
the
Wolves versus United.
yeah, that caused him to react
Yeah.
like that. If the call was right, he wouldn't react like that. So I mean, yeah, you can react from a far distance. If you're reacting from a far distance, you can say you're not trouble nobody. But as long as you go in the fourth position and like you're screaming them down, okay, yeah,
Right.
I can probably say
I
that.
can
Okay, you
understand.
can pick up a yellow card.
Yeah.
Not when me react to over there by my people and them. Like, come on, bro.
Bro,
I'm
me
looking.
just think the yellow card thing. I find the more I think about it is the more I think that it's unnecessary. And it's like you just a final way now. You put this into the referee hand now. Yo, because here we know. If I'm a referee, not like cause maybe you get a foul and you think you get and the referee in the call and you maybe give the boy to like a rough cussing. The boy
Yeah.
the boy just scoop you, the boy say, yeah, throw in, you take too long, yellow card. You check
Hmm.
them kind of stupidness, dog. You're putting too much power into these, like respectfully. Them man done the too smart already. You check, like make that make sense.
Yeah, they
You
just rule
understand?
it with
Yeah.
the iron fist.
Yeah, it makes sense. And then my thing is, you bring in all this additional extra time, which is to counteract the time wasting. So we still need the yellow card for.
Yeah. I double jeopardy.
Yeah, I don't get it, boss. I don't get it. I
Just
really don't get it.
one
So if
thing.
Honestly, I don't
everything,
get it.
Then with that what Joe said, giving them too much power, we might see intensity games of these big games get clamped down on because you normally see those crazy challenges, these fights and reaction with it. You
Uh,
can't have those in these big games because big
uh,
games cause big emotion. And big
yeah.
emotion right now because you a yellow card.
Yeah, which is what I spoke about last week, where we need to be very careful that we don't get to a point where the game starts to become robotic, because then
yeah,
it kills the game. You
it's
check,
go-
it kills the game.
game
Look
gone.
for Ireland fans. What the song be the passion for the passion of the game. So if I know the
Yeah.
game, I have the passion. So if I know
But
I got to change them to avoid yellow
Hmm.
card. You check? Cause like really and truly, man. Yo, dog, that frustrate me so much. Right? I didn't even
Just for the
understand
love
how
of
much
the
that frustrate
game.
me. Like, I
Make
didn't
sure I
even
look for my
understand how much
boss.
that frustrate me, King.
Make sure I look for my boss for coming the pressure cooker. But the man now come. I'm got some of it here. I just want y'all to look at these stats that I will put on the screen.
Yeah.
It's blocking at the top, but it says dribble pass. Selected midfielders who have been dribble pass the most. Dribble pass the most this season. Casemiro has been dribble pass 6 times in 2 games. And if you look down the list, you also see Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount been dribble pass 7 times and 4 times
And four
respectfully.
times, yeah.
Is that something, nothing, or everything? Because bearing in mind, that's the starting trio.
Uh-huh.
That's why
Yo,
I wanted Jelly to come in. Come on, I need answer.
yo, it's not it for me. It's something, but I don't think it's everything yet. Taken into consideration that they're playing a bit different than they played last season, and then the addition of Mason Mount means that the midfield trio is different. So you can give them the benefit of the doubt that they still learn each other and certain things. But I think like okay, 3-4 games into it, and that's still happening, then it becomes
It
from
comes everything.
something to everything.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair
I
enough. Look, go ahead, Moy. Go ahead, Moy,
I
before I
was
bring up the next one.
I was saying if it's something, especially looking at the caliber of player that Casemiro is, you tend to
True.
see you should clean up those stuff. And when you're looking at defensive middles, two defenders, those are stats that the defensive minded players would cherish. Because you getting past me puts the edge over you. So I must stop you from getting that. So I think it's something, something of little concern. And especially the caliber players has a better, higher standard to his game.
Yeah, Suku, you can take first dibs on this one. The away record versus top nine. This is last season though. I mean,
Mm.
just looking at it is, I mean, even I think they were away. They were away this weekend too. So this is why this graphic came back up. Is it
Right.
something? Because they didn't win versus any top nine teams last week.
Yeah, I think
Top
yeah,
teams last year.
that's something that you have to you have to address that because I mean you've brought in arguably a pretty decent manager. You've gone out there, okay, you've spent monies. Um always okay, fine. The club has been in limbo over the sale. That thing has been going on. Um you brought in players that you thought that you would I mean okay, what if you finish last season? Four?
Third,
Third? I think probably that mass over the fact that against the bigger teams and so on for the season they have been bad,
right?
right? Uh, of continues because they've lost against Spurs this week. So, or yeah, last week. So it's something that has to be addressed, or is something that's obvious that you can see right now.
All right,
For them.
all right. That's all I have here first. The last thing that we have
Yeah.
to do before we go quickly. What's your goal of the weekend? What was your goal of the weekend?
Oh,
I already told you
my
I love the Antonio goal. I just
Antonio.
love the
Yeah.
industry. I just love the industry. I just appreciate the industry. I should probably say.
But Thomas turned out
Yeah.
to me.
Man, me try remember
Ooh,
what other goal they do.
ooh.
Me try think about some other goal.
Mm.
The
Um.
Mitoma one was good.
Chukwemeka was good and all. I like
Oh
Chukwuemeka
yes,
Chukwemeka.
was bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Chukwemeka goal was good
Yeah.
too.
And guess what, Shaq? My boy done injured now.
And the boy
Boy, I
injured.
tell you, boy,
And
I
the boy
tell you,
injured.
tell you,
And the boy injured.
I
Yeah,
tell you, boy.
only it says Mitoma versus Wolves as well as his
Yeah.
goal of the weekend.
I think the Mitoma goal was what is it for me? I like the what you name goal from West Ham. But there was another goal that I liked just because of the whole, not because of the individual goal, but the build up to the goal. and that was the Papisa goal for
Oh,
for
oh,
for for,
Spurs.
for Tottenham. I really
Mm,
liked that goal.
mm,
Yeah, I really liked that goal.
Alright.
yeah.
This one was good too. Little outside the boot finish from
Who?
Who's that?
Martinez goal against Tottenham.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not even a depth touch. It's a nice little depth touch. There's quality in the box.
Yeah, that
The
that
butcher.
would be a beautiful goal.
The
That's
butcher,
fine.
man.
That's fine.
Yo, y'all didn't see Onana could even move. The shot just sticky
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
Just sticky right there.
a beautiful goal right there. Hey,
Wow.
look. I was
Manchester United
Yo,
in the pressure
actually,
cooker.
no. I just thought about one. The first goal that Awi New Year ever scored, the
Mm.
cross was
Mm.
perfect. The cross me perfect. The finish
Yeah.
me perfect. Yeah, it was a real good goal.
Yo, the man for Ting didn't score a bad goal, I don't know. The Sheffield United player. Hamer.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a curling effort.
But
Yeah,
yo,
so
remember
that was good.
there were a couple of semi screamers now because the goal that Bournemouth scored against Liverpool wasn't a bad goal either.
I
No.
love that goal.
Yeah, that was a
I
real good
think
goal too.
Semenyo just played well too. I think Semenyo
Yeah,
was lively
yeah,
all
yeah,
game. Luis Diaz goal was good.
Good too.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, I didn't
Uh,
think about the
the
Paqueta goal was really good. I really like the Paqueta goal.
the Paqueta goal.
Yeah, the build up to that was good too.
Yeah, fair. That's
This
fair.
is super. You like the build up for the Paqueta goal?
We have to check to see if you get a yellow card. But they hedge bets on that one.
Yo,
Yeah,
but shot, the Odegaard goal was very good too. You know,
classic.
for me that was a brilliant penalty. I'm not
Well,
gonna lie, that was a very great penalty.
Joe, he said that he asked Saka for it. He said that's what happened.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
So he
yo.
asked Saka for it. And
Oh,
Saka
okay,
gave
okay.
it to him. So he said, yeah, I'm going to tell you thank you.
Fantasy points.
Yeah.
Yo, no
Yo, I
fantasy.
respect that
Yo,
no,
bruh.
because here what? Oh, the guy that think, but okay, you don't miss the last two, man. I want to put
Yeah.
you in a position. So here what?
Right,
As the
right, right.
captain
As
of the
club
team,
captain. Yeah.
me, yeah,
Club
I'm a rate
Right.
that. I respect that.
My
If you
captain.
realize, right,
My captain.
like watch the preseason and all the penalty shootouts. Oh, the guy first tuck up the ball and go take a penalty. I respect that. I rate that. I
Mm.
There's
rate that.
levels. There's levels to
Yeah,
this.
fact. Yeah, I
There's
rate
levels
that.
to this. All right, fellas. Well, that's that. We'll be back on Thursday, God's willing. I shouldn't have a game. I have a game on Wednesday, so we should be back on Thursday, God's willing, to preview this
Thursday.
weekend games. I think Luton should be playing. Luton should be back playing this weekend.
Luton playing Chelsea.
Yeah, they play versus Chelsea.
Yeah.
We should
Yeah.
have a full slate of games this weekend. There's not nothing to think about. Is any big games this weekend?
Not really. You have
Liverpool,
Brentford
Newcastle.
playing.
I think Liverpool Newcastle may be the most anticipated game.
Wait, is that's this weekend?
I
Oh, I
think
didn't
so.
even realize that. Okay. Yeah, that's a big game. That's a big
I
game.
think so. Right, more.
That's a
I know
big
y'all
game.
have Sheffield.
Yeah.
That might be a trouncing. Suko, you have Luton. Surely you can't lose that game. And
No, you can't lose that game.
Fulham coming over to us on Saturday.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. Shout out to that boy Jude. He had a very good performance over the weekend. 2 goals and an
Yeah.
assist.
2 goals
shout
and an
out to the
assist.
GOAT,
Wow.
Messi. The man had us up late. It's Saturday night. Man, up late.
Bro.
Nobody now miss.
Bro, not even that, boss. Just look how Messi had me watch MLS, dog. MLS. What did you get all?
I think when do they play?
Yeah, he did yesterday. He took the armband off before the trophy.
Oh yeah.
To give.
Yeah.
Give
My
it to
respect.
you.
Yo,
Yeah.
my goat.
Yeah.
My
was good.
goat.
That was good.
Mm.
All right, so fellas, and everybody who joined, who commented, we appreciate it. Remember to like, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. We'll be back on Thursday. All right, guys. So we are out.
Thank you for watching Island Fans. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when there are new videos and updates. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and like us on Facebook. Island Fans, for the passion of the game.